Hello, and welcome back to my channel where we are all crime all black, all the time.
Trying to find the exact thing. Which I have. Really an issue anymore anyway, is that, I mean, we're clear on the Mr. Thorpe can't be testifying about Mr. Stillwell's. So if y'all want me to read that part of the transcript, I will, but.
You didn't hear the first part of what you said?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry, I'm a little late taking the bench. I was searching the transcript roughs for the part that we had been looking for yesterday, which I found. But anyway, on my ruling is about what Thorpe can't testify to, but I'm happy to read into the transcript discussing before, which my ruling was, so they can't have a new witness. If they have a witness that they were planning to call back anyway, who is already qualified to testify to this, then they can testify to it, but they can't come up with a new witness or recall somebody that they didn't already have on their list. So I think that takes care of that. But of course, we have another issue because we can't have more than one normal no issue trial day in a row. So I have an email from one of the jurors this morning. Interestingly, he sent two different drafts of it. To my assistant, when you have a moment, please relay this to the judge. Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. But then that's not what he really meant to send, because he said, I didn't mean to send this version, not the other one, with a minor correction. Hope all is well. When you have a moment, can you relay this email to the judge? Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. Now, this is the same juror who a few months back asked to be removed from the case and provided no reason whatsoever. And so I just ignored it. I just said, no, you're not removed. Doesn't work that way. And so I was way to get off. He's sick of being on because it's taking up his time. Obviously, we can have him out and privations of him. Willing to hear what anybody has to say about it. to get that juror on. Can we get juror number 56 out, please? Good morning. So I am in receipt and I'm actually in receipt of both versions of it because you sent one and then you adjusted it. And my assistant had already sent that one to me. So I have both. And you seem to be expressing concerns about the length of the trial. And I've discussed that with all of the attorneys, and we all feel comfortable representing that there is really, it's almost certain that this trial will be over far before 3 to 6 months have elapsed. I think it is probable that it will be over before the end of this year. So I'd like to find out whether that assuages any of your concerns.
Given that you said probable, and I'll keep it as is, but I will, if it prolongs, then I will set up course on again, if it goes to 2025.
All right. Let me ask you as well. You said that you bias towards Asians moving more. Is that because of your worries about how long the case might take?
Yes.
Okay.
I projected it when we first began this entire case, we projected to be in 6 months and then to a year.
Yeah.
And then did the circumstances in between. I just personally, I love what I do for a living. I miss what I do.
Yeah.
And it's been hindering a lot of things with family and friends.
Yeah.
So since you used probable in the sentence, and so therefore I can if you're assuring that this will probably go toward the 2024 year, then therefore I can still stay on board.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of other things as well. I know that you were instructed with some version of entering the case and considering the evidence with an open.
That we just discussed, and yes.
All right. Okay. And can you decide this case based only on and we'll have y'all all back in just a minute. Thank you. All right. Anything further about that issue before we move on?
No, from
All right. Thank you.
Just briefly, Your Honor, I became aware last night after I got home that my request to the court to show the jury to pass around the bottles of the liquid, that was not an intention for them to take a shot from those bottles.
You did say sample.
I did say sample, so I guess a lawyer, which I inartfully worded that, but that was not my intention. I just wanted them to be able to look at the labels, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I understand. The jury got a kick out of it. It was a little bit of levity. So, I didn't know if maybe you had set it on purpose for that very reason.
I'd left
But-
my shot glasses
No,
at home.
I didn't think you were actually wanting to give them samples, but I had to deny that in the way that it was phrased. So, okay, no problem with that. All right, is there any other matter before we get the jury out to start our testimony for the day? Okay, and who's our first witness for the day going to be? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get the jury out, and you can have that witness be making the witness stand. Thank you. And if you would mind swearing our witness, we'll get started. Thank you.
Aaron Wolford, AARONWOFFORD.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you tell the jurors how you are currently employed, sir?
I am retired lieutenant at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. And how long were you employed by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office?
Over 21 years.
Okay.
We're going to adjust that mic. It's really not that one. Well, we can give that one a shot. If that one doesn't work, move that other one towards you.
You said you worked there for how long?
21 years.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors, where within the Sheriff's Department were you employed?
At the jail.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors what did you do, or what did your employment entail at the jail?
Well, I started off as a floor deputy, moved to sergeant, moved to lieutenant, did security, was over security, unit manager over security, and unit manager in the watch commander's office.
And can you tell the jurors, as the lieutenant who managed security for the jail, and where's the jail located?
901 Rice Street.
Okay. And is that here within Fulton County, City of Atlanta?
Yes, it is.
And can you tell the jurors a little bit about your role as kind of head of security at the Fulton County Jail?
This basically made sure all of the checkpoints were manned, all the equipment was functioning. Was the custodian of the Pelco system that we had, which is the camera system. Also the Securus system, which was the telephone communication system. Made sure all the fences didn't have holes in them, things like that. Made sure there was no areas that can be penetrated as far as escapes and stuff like that.
Okay. And you referenced you were the custodian for the Pelco system. Can you tell the jurors what is that system?
The Pelco system is the system within the jail that basically monitors the jail itself. It's in the pods of where the inmates are housed, but it's also all around the facility, and I have access to it.
Okay, and I won't ask you how many cameras, but were there cameras throughout and all over the Fulton County Jail?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors a little bit, were you trained in, I guess, being able to pull information or data from the Pelco system for any
Yes.
specific event?
Yes.
Yes. And can you tell the jurors, were you able to, I guess, narrow down a time frame and pull footage for a specific time frame that you were looking for?
Yes. After, just to make sure I captured the whole incident.
And is the footage that you would be able to and view, is that stored within a database as relates to, I guess, all the recordings for each day from the Fulton County Jail?
That's correct.
Okay, and is that how you're able to access any amount of data that you were looking for as it relates to footage?
Correct.
Okay. Now, can you tell the jurors, as head of security, were you aware that other deputies working within the jail wore body cameras?
Correct.
And as the lieutenant on duty, were you able to pull and view a body camera related to any specific deputy on duty?
Yes.
Okay, and is that something that you did fairly regularly before you retired?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors the system in which the body camera footage is stored in the ordinary course of business?
It's called evidence.com.
Okay. And is the company Axum?
Yes. Axum. Yes.
And based on your security clearance as lieutenant, were you able to regularly view any of the body cam footage as it related to the deputies who worked within the Fulton County Jail?
Yes.
And is that something that you did on a regular basis, like you described with the Pelco system, as one of your duties when working?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to direct your attention to February 9th of 2022. Were you, and can you tell the jurors assault or stabbing within the jail?
Yes.
And before we get into that, can you explain to the jurors, I guess, how the jail is set up, how many floors, and you mentioned pods. Can you talk a little bit about that?
There's 7 floors in the jail. And on each floor, you have 6 pods within the jail. You have 400, 500, 600, 100, 200, 300. And then you have 700, 800. 700 is where the deputies on the floor are housed or officed and have computers and stuff. But and 800 is where the gym is, where they have their recreation.
Okay.
And that's on every floor. That setup is on every floor.
Okay. And on each floor, and I guess in the area of each pod, are there specific deputies assigned either to each pod individually or a number of pods that they monitor throughout their shift?
Deputies you have north and south. So you have deputies from 1 all the way up. You have north and south. And there's deputies on each floor in each pod. Well, not in each pod, but on each floor on each side.
Okay. And as it relates to February 9th of 2022, were you able to locate and pull video surveillance from the Pelco system as it relates to the stabbing?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to show you what's been marked States Exhibit 125, Victor. And let me know if you recognize that.
Yes, I do.
And can you tell the jurors how you recognize it and what it is?
It's the video footage of the incident that occurred on February 9th.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and show you also States Exhibit 124, of Victor Victor. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, it's also, the first one was the body cam, the second one was the Pelco system.
Okay. And was that footage that you were able to pull of the body cam as well as the Pelco video surveillance as it relates to the stabbing you became aware of on February 9th of 2022?
That's correct.
Okay. At this time around, the state will tender States Exhibit 124, Victor Victor, which is the Pelco video surveillance, and then 25, the body cam related to the stabbing.
All right, those are both admitted.
Now, can you tell the jurors, based on your investigation in conjunction with other deputies who were working in the Fulton County Jail, can you tell the jurors the inmates that were involved in the violent incident?
Bennett and Myrick.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors, as it relates to Mr. Bennett and Mr. Myrick, did you view the video surveillance of the actual stabbing from the Pelco system?
I did.
Okay. And were you able to actually, I guess, locate? Let me ask a better question. Was the violent event, was it actually captured on the video surveillance?
It was.
Okay. And can you describe to the jurors, before we play it, the video surveillance as it relates to the Pelco system, the quality of, I guess, the video? Is it something that it's HD and, you can see everything like it's, standing before you, or is it a little different?
It's a little different. A little, I mean, it's, you could see, but it's a little different.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, permission to publish
You may.
States Exhibit 124. Your Honor, just for the record, because it takes a minute to pull up, I had already pulled it up from my desktop. And before we start playing the video surveillance in, I guess, the still frame in States Exhibit 124 BV at 6:45 and 28 seconds p.m. That evening on February 9th, do you see the individual who's in, I guess, kind of the middle,
Yeah.
far right-hand side?
There's something over the video. I don't want to touch it.
Okay, see?
Yeah.
All right, you see the individual that's standing, I guess, in the far middle right-hand corner of the exhibit?
Yes,
And can you tell the jurors, is that Jaden Myrick?
that's correct.
And in your review of the footage, I guess, let's go ahead and explain to the jurors where we are in the jail in this video.
This is 6 North Zone 600
Okay.
at the Fulton County Jail.
And you see in the video, there's 2 floors, the bottom and I guess the top floor where the stairs lead. Do you see the numbers, for example, 616, 615, 614? What are those?
Those are individual cells.
Okay. And in the individual cells, is that where inmates who were being housed at Fulton County Jail would reside during their time there?
That's correct.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors, based on your number of years in the Sheriff's Department, ending your career as a lieutenant there, can you kind of explain to the jurors, I guess, the process and procedure related to individual inmates, I guess, coming out of the cell to make video calls or phone calls using the secure system that you
Well, this
spoke about?
this particular zone, I think this was the PC zone. I'm almost sure it was. And in those zones, there's only supposed to be one individual out at a time. For their hour or however long they were out. I think it was an hour. Of as far as attorneys or showers or visitation or whatever they're doing.
And can you explain to the jurors who said PC zone? What is that?
That's
term mean?
protective custody.
Okay. Now, you referenced two inmates being Mr. Myra, who we see in states that it's 124 BB. Is the second individual that you referenced, last name Bennett, is that Ray Sean Bennett?
That's correct.
Okay. And you're working at the jail and working there while Mr. Bennett was in custody. Do you know a nickname that he goes by?
I don't.
Okay. Nickname?
Sounds, but I don't. That name, but.
And as the video is playing, I just want to see if we can orient the jurors a little bit. You see in the exhibit where the second set of stairs that are towards the back of the right-hand side of the states that 124 BV.
Mm-hmm.
You described there's when inmates are out, they're able to make either video visitation calls or normal phone calls. Can you kind of orient the jurors? I guess that would take place in this pod.
Well, if they're going to do like commissary or stuff like that, the one down at the bottoms for their commissary and things of that nature.
Right. Do me a favor, stand up and point at the large screen.
This box right here is where they're going to do their commissary and things of that nature. This box up here is where they're going to do their video visitations and things of that nature.
And as you can see in the exhibit 640, 651, you see Mr. Meyer kind of walking around on the pod. Can you explain to the jurors how he's able to do that?
I'm figuring that's his time out to do what he needs to do as far as his hygiene or calls, if he's talking to a lawyer or whatever he needs to do for that amount of time that he's out.
Okay. So when an inmate, when it's their time, their hour, they're able to walk about freely. So they're able to walk about freely. If you
Yes.
see.
Yes. Yes.
Now, as you continue to review the video, is there a time where you can see Mr. Ray?
There is a time. Yes.
I'm going to move to 6:57 p.m. in the exhibit. And at 6:58:08 p.m. on February 9th, 2022, do you see in the top middle right-hand side of State Civic 124 BB, the individual upstairs in a white shirt?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors, is that Mr. Ray Sean Bennett after he's been released from his cell?
Appears to be Ray. Yes. Mr. Bennett.
And he near the area that you just talked about where video visitation takes place?
Yes.
Now, Lieutenant, when you see in the exhibit, as the video plays, both Mr. Bennett and Mr. Myrick out in 6 North 600, is this typical that two inmates are out at the same time?
No,
And can you tell the jurors why not?
because we wouldn't want to mix them up in case something would happen. So the one that was out, Mr. Myrick, should have been put up.
For efficiency, I'm going to move to 7:01 p.m. in the video. And at 7:01 and 15 seconds, Lieutenant, do you see Mr. Bennett headed towards the video visitation area being followed by Mr. Myrick?
That's correct.
Now, Lieutenant, as the fight's going on, can you tell the jurors in each one of the pods, where are the deputies in relation to the inmates? For example, the ones who we're watching right now. Where does this deputy come from?
He comes, I'm assuming from the other side. This happened in 600, so I'm assuming he was in maybe 1, 2, or 300.
I can ask a
Sustained.
different question.
All right.
So the deputies, as it relates to when they're working on during their shift, here, this is 6 North 600. Just one deputy works several pods,
Yes,
and are throughout their shift, are they, I guess, monitoring pods from 600 north, 600
yes,
south and around?
yes, around their housing pod that they're assigned to, yes.
And can you tell the jurors, is there, I guess, a watchtower, for example, where an individual is monitoring the Pelco system or the video surveillance system?
No, they're not watching the Pelco, they're actually watching the inmates
Okay.
in the same pod area or same housing floor area.
And if an incident like this occurs, does the person in the watchtower alert deputies?
Yes.
And is that how they, I guess, get to the pods as quickly as they can?
Correct.
All right. Okay. Now, can you tell the jurors, well, first let me show you state's exhibits 1, 125, Victor, A, B, and C. Do you recognize those exhibits, sir?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors, how do you recognize those?
These are pictures taken during the investigation of the victim of this incident.
And when you say victim, can you tell the jurors who considered the victim as it relates to this violent act?
Inmate Bennett.
And do those photographs in State Exhibit 125, B, A, B, and C fairly and accurately depict the injuries that Mr. Bennett suffered on February 9th of 2022.
Correct.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would tender with remarks to State's Exhibits 125, Victor, Victor, A, B, C.
Sure.
Any other?
No.
Okay, they're admitted without objection.
This time, the state's going to publish State's Exhibit 125 on the body cameras. While pulling the body camera up, can you tell jurors how the body camera
If an inmate is in a, if the deputy is in some kind of a confrontation or situation that needs to be captured to further the investigation, they put their body cams on. And it's also there to protect them.
And can you tell jurors as it relates to each deputy who's monitoring any pod within any of the floors you described here today? Are the deputies armed with guns or anything like that?
No, they're armed with the body cam and other essential equipment that they would need: radio, handcuffs, if they have one.
Put it down. 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 I ain't got one. Put it down. Put it down. Hey, I sit out, girl. Nah, that man just smoking it. You don't suck shit. Put it down. I ain't want to go straight up. Move. Listen, if you stab me, I ain't gonna step back. Put it down. I ain't got what the fuck you telling me for. I ain't have it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Kill it for me. Move.
All judge, you in the soldier non-emergency trap. All police
Step back. Step back. Step back.
So what's the situation?
Step back. Step back. Step back.
Please, an inmate, don't 600.
Get down. Get down. Don't slide the weapon nowhere. Get down. Get down, motherfucker. Well, get down. Get down.
Oh, damn, bro, you doing?
Roll over on your back.
You didn't want to shoot me. Why they shoot me? That shit lame. Hey man, you shot me. I ain't had no money.
So you do.
Huh? What you did? What you did? Wait up. Anyway, they shot me.
Lieutenant is without body cam for Deputy Edward. Deputy Edward was monitoring the process.
Correct.
Now, I want to show you this last body camera. You have your lieutenant, is it, I guess, common for more than one deputy when it's called over the radio?
Yes.
There's an incident to arrive.
Yes.
And through your investigation, can you tell the jurors, was a weapon found as it relates to the incident we just witnessed with the staff?
Yes.
Can you explain to the jurors what it was?
It's called a shank.
Okay. And can you describe to the jurors what is a shank?
It's a homemade weapon or a weapon made in jail by inmates. An edge weapon.
I want to show you this second video on State's Exhibit 125, Victor. And for the record, I'm going to start at 1 minute, 37 seconds.
You can stand out on 6 North. Situation under control. Okay, got popped. I ain't got no gloves on me. Some gloves, pick it up. Can you put that on your pick that, no, wrap it up in your glove, take your glove off and wrap it in your glove.
Victor B. And can you describe for the jurors through your investigation the injuries Mr. Rayshon Bennett sustained from being stabbed with a shank?
Those are wounds that were obtained during the incident. The nurses, I don't know as far as him, if if he was injured or anything.
All right, are there defense questions for this witness? Sure.
Good morning, Captain Wofford.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Wofford.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, apologize.
No problem.
Max Shard, I represent Shannon Stillwell, who's seated to my right.
Mhm.
Just a couple questions. I just want to make sure I have this correct. I know that you've corrected me, you're a lieutenant. Were you the person within the jail responsible for investigating this incident?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so that was in your purview.
Yes.
All right, great. Now, my first question is, I think we just saw in the body cam, Deputy Edwards, I thought I heard a taser gun. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Who was tased?
Both of them.
Both individuals were tased?
My understanding, yes, from what I saw,
Okay.
yes.
Now, as I understood your testimony, correct me if I'm wrong, this occurred in the protective custody dorm, correct? Okay. Now, one person, when I say person, I mean a person that's an inmate at the time, walking around the floor. Are there, for instance, are there locks on the individual doors to the rooms?
Yes.
Okay.
Once their doors close, it locks.
Okay. So, and who controls those locks?
Tower.
Ideally, the way it's supposed to work is and then Mr. Bennett exited his door to enter the floor protocol.
Correct.
What happened?
From my understanding, from reports that I got, he was supposed to go up. I'm not sure why he didn't go in.
The idea is to keep the gentleman separate, or any two individuals separate. The person that's in the room, their door would not be unlocked until the other person is securely locked in their room, correct? That's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to work. I'm not sure what the incident was or why it happened that way. There could have been a number of things. I don't know. Maybe the tower person didn't see him walking around. I'm not sure. I'm not making any excuses. I don't know. But ideally, one person.
Did you do, as part of your investigation at the jail, did you do kind of a happening over the last month, we'll say, with two people on the floor at the same time?
No.
Okay, so we don't know if this is that incident or that situation with two people that are in 600 being on the floor at the same time. We're not sure if that happened at all. Just know that it happened on that particular day.
Day, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Good morning, Lieutenant Wofford.
Good morning.
Hey, Kendrick. Suggestions. I think you indicated to Mr. Shart that only one of the people held in custody should have been on the floor at the time, correct?
Outside the,
Outside, outside the cell.
yes.
And you don't know why there were two that were out there at the same time, right?
I don't.
Okay. Is it possible against the unfortunate inmate doing that?
Move the door.
It's not locked. It is not locked.
What, the door? Yeah, it's locked. They moved the door when it was locked.
Okay. So even though they're in protective custody, it's possible for multiple inmates.
You said generally in the jail.
Okay,
correct?
I'm sorry. Let me be more specific. In that particular pod in 600.
It shouldn't be, but things are put in the doors where you think the door's shut and they can move it.
Okay. And I think we all saw the deputy respond to that fight taking place where he strolls out. Generally, are they...
First, before we go into an incident that could possibly hurt us.
Okay. Do you know how many people held in custody in Fulton County Jail in 2022 when this happened?
Capacity?
Within the... Yeah. Let's clarify. Hold on. No, I haven't finished the question. I'm sorry. Within all of the Fulton County Jail, which goes by Rice Street, correct? People call it Rice Street?
Yes, sir.
Within Rice Street in 2022, do you know how many of the inmates there were killed or died in 2022?
Object to relevance.
Sustained.
Okay, I have no further questions.
You can after, if there's any redirect.
I just have one question. Lieutenant, in your time working at the Fulton County Jail, have there been incidents or situations when deputies have assisted inmates in, for example, staying out in the pods while other inmates are being released from their jail cell?
No, not that I know of. No.
I don't have anything else.
The door slides. If a door slides, they can put debris or whatever up in the system, in the mechanism. The door will close like it's locked, but they can still move. They can still get out.
So that would allow someone to...
That's one more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. Can you tell the jurors, how does an inmate or someone who's residing in Fulton County Jail get a shank into the jail?
It's made from materials that's in the jail already.
Not
Anything else? All right, thank you for your time. You are excused. Good morning. You're still under oath, so you can go ahead and have a seat.
Good morning, Ms. Ladners.
Good morning.
I got good news. This is the last time you'll be testifying in this trial, Ms. Ladners.
Have good news for you too.
You're
It's my last week working.
on to retirement, Ms. Ladners?
Yes.
Well, congratulations. Safe to say you've earned it. Ms. Ladners, I'm going to approach you with what's been marked as 1 through 3 Victor Victor and a disc with 1 and 2 Victor Victor Alpha. And Ms. Ladners, were you able to review the items on that disc?
Yes.
And is the documents before you and those discs, do you recognize them?
Yes.
And what are they?
Copy of the date.
And is the disc contain 911 calls that accompany those incidents?
Yes.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the CAD reports and 911 calls for those cases?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to tender into evidence 1 through 3 Victor Victor and 1 and 2 Victor Victor Alpha.
Those are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Publishing 1 Victor Victor. Now, Ms. Ladners, what is the date for that CAD report?
March the 12th, 2022.
And what is the APD incident number associated with that case?
220711320.
Now, Ms. Ladners, what was the incident type description for this CAD report?
Type call is 25 and plain talk is gunshot fired.
What was the location for this gunshot fired call?
2837 Waters Road, Southwest Atlanta.
Is that zone 3?
Yes.
And is that beat 312?
Yes.
Was this a 911 call or officer generated?
911 call.
What time did dispatch receive this call?
4:11 p.m. hours.
And what time did the first unit arrive?
4:19 p.m. hours.
Now, Ms. Ladners, if you turn to the bottom of page 2 under incident comments, or do you see the comment at 16:11, which is 4:11 and 50 p.m.?
Yes.
What does that state?
20 shots fired.
And Ms. Ladners, is on that disc the 911 call associated with this March 12th, 2022 shots fired call?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to publish State's Exhibit 1 Victor Victor Alpha for the jury. Thank you, Your Honor.
Atlanta 911 operator 7943. What's the address?
Yeah, somebody's shooting over here. I live at 2837 Waters Road, and they had a big shooting over here. I don't know what's going on over there.
Okay, you said 2837 Morris Road.
Waters Road. It's on Waters Road.
How many gunshots did you hear?
Oh, but it had to be about 20.
Okay, we'll get a unit.
I don't know what. Excuse me.
We'll get a unit out there. Thank you.
All right.
Stopping publishing at 34 seconds. Ms. Ladners, do you also have before you what's marked as 2 Victor Victor?
Correct.
What is the date for that CAD report?
March the 14th, 2022.
And what is the call type for or description for that CAD report?
50 person shot.
What is the APD case number associated with this March 14th, 2022 person shot?
220731882. southwest at I-20 eastbound, southwest Atlanta.
Is that zone 3?
Yes,
And is that B303?
yes.
Now, Ms. Latner, who was or what was the source? Was this 911 or officer generated?
911.
Who was the caller?
Evan Cheeseboro.
What time did dispatch receive Mr. Cheeseborough's call?
10:21 p.m. hours.
And what time did the first unit arrive?
10:29 p.m. hours.
Now, Ms. Latner, if you can turn to the incident comments on page 2, what is the first remark at 10:21:17?
It advised getting on I-20 near 56B Baker. Advised 70 on victim vehicle red near I-20 Eugene.
Now, what is a 78 victim?
It's a lookout on that person or vehicle.
Now, Ms. Latners, what is the third line from the top that starts with 78 victim 25 and continues?
It's advised 78 victim 25. Okay.
I'm going to republish to Victor and Ms. Latners. Turning back to under the incident narrative, the third line from the top that starts with 78 victim 25. Can you read that and explain to the jury what that means?
It advised 78 victim. It's a lookout on a subject, 25-year-old male, unconscious, not breathing.
And Ms. Latners, what occurs at 10:33:11 or 22:33:11 as read in military time?
They request an ambulance.
And what about at 10:24 or 22:24:05?
Call advised there is a FedEx and at the King's liquor store near the location.
And Ms. Latners, what about at 10:25 or 22:25?
The caller give out the victim plates tag number was TX, which is Texas, Robert King, Michael 9343.
And what about at 22:25:47 or 10:25 p.m.?
They give the operator a 7-8 on a victim, black male, black jacket.
And Ms. Latners, what occurs at 22:30 or 10:30 p.m.?
They advise male not alert, conscious, or breathing.
And right after that at 10:30 and 43 seconds?
Someone advised his dispatcher they found the 69, which is a gun, under the passenger seat.
And what about at 10:34:24?
They requested Hero to shut down I-20 eastbound to Windsor Street.
And what happens after that?
At 10:34 p.m., they confirmed person is 48, which means person is dead.
at 10:33 p.m.?
10:34 p.m.
Now, Ms. Latners, is the second item on that disc the call from Cheeseborough on this case?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to publish to Victor Victor Alpha.
You may.
Atlanta 911 operator 7663 was the address of the emergency.
I'm on the, oh my God, it's the I-20 West, I-20 East, damn, exit, what is this? Oh my God, I don't know what to say. If I give you an exit number,
Do you need police, fire, or EMS today?
I'm sorry?
Do you need police, fire, or EMS today?
It's an EMS, so basically I'm in
Brody,
traffic.
EMS. You need an ambulance? Do you need an ambulance?
It's not me. It's for someone in a car.
Hold
They're
on.
sitting in a car and they're not shot.
We were telling you to hold on for an ambulance.
EMS, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm unsure. If I gave you an exit number, would you be able to find it?
Yes, sir. Go ahead with it.
I think it's like exit 56B. It's like the I-20 West, I-20 East, how you get on to I-20 West, I-20 East.
So, do I have to, you're on Windsor Street trying to get on 20 West, or you're on 20 West getting on Windsor?
I think I'm on Windsor trying to get on I-20 West or East. It's like you can go either way. And essentially there's a car here and someone in the car, he's not moving, and there's a gun hole in the door. And I'm not really trying to find out more, but that's basically what I deduce from the situation.
Okay, so give me 1 second, okay?
No problem. Oh my God.
And you're on Windsor Street?
I think this is Windsor. I think this is Windsor, 56D. I know I can kind of see on the highway, and I see it says 57, like it's the next exit. So I think it should be 56D.
Okay.
That you're in. How is that?
I'm sorry, what you say?
Are you sure you're on Cecil Street?
Am I sure I'm on what street?
Yeah, are you on an actual street, or are you on like a middle street where you can still see the highway?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not understand. I'm on the, let me get in my car and figure out what street I'm on. Because, I mean, the guy's not clear anyway.
You can also open up your Google Maps or whatever your phone uses for.
I'm going to have to go around. He ain't moving.
What kind of car is it? What color is it?
It's a red Nissan Versa. Yeah, a red Nissan Versa. Yeah, his window is shot out. He's definitely shot. Oh my God! Yes.
What kind of car is it? You stopped at.
It's a red Nissan Versa.
Okay, go ahead and open up your mapping system on your phone and tell me what street you're on. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Google Maps. Oh my God, I'm on Windsor. Yeah, Windsor.
What's the crossing area?
It's literally when you're getting on I-20 or I-20 East or West, but it's close to Eugenia Street.
So Windsor and give me 1 second. All right, and confirm your phone number for me.
352-215-19.
Fire department that's responding, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, give me 1 second. okay?
I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Give me one.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Okay, sir, can you tell me if there's any businesses or residential or anything that you see near you guys?
And liquor store. So there's a FedEx.
Name of the liquor
I
store.
think the name of the liquor store. King's Liquor. King's Liquor.
Looking, like LAKINGS?
KINGS. Yeah, liquor.
Okay. Okay, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
What's your last name, sir? Kevin, what's your last name?
Cheeseboro. CHEES. B as in boy. OROUGH.
Thank you.
Help is on the way for him, and I'll just stay on the line with you until someone gets there, okay? Are you comfortable with doing that?
Do I have to stay here? I'm like,
Can you read me the license plates on the vehicle, please? As long as you're not placing yourself in danger, I'm ready. What state is it from?
you say, what state is the license plate from?
Yes, sir.
One moment, I'm walking back to the car. I had kind of walked away for a minute.
All right, don't place yourself in any danger.
And do you want, hold on, you want the license plate number?
Yes.
R as in Robert, K as in Kilo, and then M as in Mary, 9343.
Thank you. And is that man black, white, or Hispanic?
He's a black man.
What color shirt is he wearing? Can you tell?
It's a black jacket.
Black jacket. Anything else? Anyone else in the car?
No, no one else is in the car.
Did you see or hear any gunshots?
No, I had pulled up to the stoplight and I realized he was not moving. So I'm just kind of nosy and I'm driving and I'm looking and I see that he looks like he's like immobile, like asleep. So my conscience was like turning back around. So when I turned back around, that's when I realized like, okay, there's a bullet hole in his door.
Got it. Well, I hear the sirens in the background. Can you tell us if that's fire, police?
Fire truck.
Okay.
Oh, fire's on scene? Okay. Okay.
Did they stop with the patient, sir? I don't hear the sirens anymore.
I think they're turning around. I think they had to make a U-turn.
Are you able to flag them down without pushing yourself in danger to guide them to the patient?
I'm about to do it now because yeah, they probably wouldn't. I'm not sure if they would really get, but I'm about to.
Don't place yourself in any danger.
Yeah, he got shot, I think. Right, like I pulled up and he was right here, like no problem.
Was that the firefighters or the police?
That's the firefighters. Now I think they got on the highway. Oh my God.
Were you talking to a firefighter or you were talking to someone else, the female in the background?
The police is here now.
Okay, let the police take over. Thank you so much for even taking out the time to report it. We greatly appreciate the call, sir.
No problem. Thank you so much for assisting.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
have a good-
Now, Ms. Latners, that third CAD report, is that 2 days after this March 14th 911 call we just listened to?
Yes.
What is the address for what's marked as 3 Victor Victor, the March 16th, 2022 CAD report?
2830 Waters Road, Southwest Atlanta.
Is that address the same address from 1 Victor Victor?
Well, the first one was 2837. This 2830.
Both Waters Road?
Yes.
And Ms. Latners, what is the APD case number for this March 16th, 2022 CAD report?
220750015.
What was the time that APD received one call as well, or officer generated?
Now one call.
And what time did dispatch receive that call?
12:08 a.m. hours.
And when did the first APD officer arrive on that scene?
12:10 a.m. hours.
And what time was this call cleared?
4:19 a.m. hours. It does says route closed at 4:19 a.m. hours.
And Ms. Latners, do you see the incident comments? At 0008 or 12:08 a.m., what does that state?
It advised, heard a lot of gunshots in the area and saw a dark color SUV speeding away. No further.
And what about at 14:40 or 12:14 a.m.?
Unit advised 2830 has several shell casing and damage.
What about at 12:33?
Advised one detained.
And at 12:37 a.m.?
They asked for a 6-7. A 6-7 means they don't want anyone talking on the radio because they found something, so they need everything quiet during that time.
In Ms. Latner's, shortly after that at 37:47 or 12:37 a.m.
Unit advised 2 additional detained.
And what about at 12:40 a.m.?
They advised 6-7 is lifted. People can go start by talking on the radio.
Thank you, Ms. Latner. There's no further questions to state.
Ms. Weinstein? All right, thank you, Ms. Latners. You are excused and released, I believe.
She can be permanently excused,
You are
Your Honor.
released. Congratulations on your retirement. All right, call your next witness. Is everybody okay? How long's your next witness going to be?
20 minutes.
Okay, let's do another witness unless anybody's desperate for a break right now. All right, go ahead.
Swear to firm testimony, word of truth, yourself. Maybe see, can you state your first and last name, explain the whole plea?
Heavy
And good morning, Mr. Cheeseburger. How are you?
well. Yourself.
I'm well. If you could just speak into that mic for me, okay? How old are you?
32.
And you can actually talk to the jurors over here, but speaking to the mic, I know it's hard. And do you work?
Yes.
What type of work do you do?
I'm an administrative professional.
All right. And did you do the same type of work in March of 2022?
Yes.
Where are you from originally?
Florida.
And how long have you lived in the Atlanta area?
3 years.
What area of 2022?
West End.
Back in 2022, did you have a car?
Yes.
What type of car?
Kia Soul 2018.
You said 2018 Kia Soul?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to March 14th, 2022 at approximately 10:20 p.m. Did you have the occasion to be in the area of Windsor Street and I-20?
Yes.
Why were you in that area?
I was coming from the gym and I missed my turn.
And where was your gym located?
Midtown, LA Fitness, Midtown.
And briefly, what was the route that you were traveling from the gym to go home?
I am not sure, honestly.
Were you traveling on the highway?
Yes.
Was that highway 7585?
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not like the most familiar with the streets like that, but I want to assume yes.
Okay.
It was the highway. So yeah, it's a highway I take often.
When you missed your turn, do you remember where you went to try to turn around?
I do not remember the specifics, no.
Did you ever pass a BP gas station?
Yes.
Okay. When you passed the BP gas station, what, if anything, do you remember doing?
Was driving to get back on the highway after I passed the BP gas station, and that's when I noticed the car and I made the U-turn.
Okay. So tell me about when you noticed the car. Where did you notice a car at?
It was in I believe it was in the turn lane, far left lane.
And what color was the car?
Red.
And when you first encountered the car, you said it was in the far left lane. Where was your vehicle?
My vehicle may have been either in the middle or the far right. More than likely, it was in the middle lane.
And at the time, when you noticed the red car in the far left lane, were you right next to that red car in the middle lane next to the red car?
I can't speak for certain. I do know the car was holding up traffic, but as far as the exact lane, I'm unsure. I'm sorry.
And when you say the car was holding up traffic, can you remember now approximately how many cars were out there at that time?
It wasn't completely holding up traffic, considering there were about 3 or 4 lanes, but I would say roughly 10 cars.
Car was holding up traffic. What, if anything, did you do?
Well, I intended to kind of pass it by and go home, but they had their flashers on, their emergency lights on, and then they looked asleep. So before I got on the highway, I made a conscious decision to do a U-turn and check on them.
How far did you drive before you made the U-turn to come back and check on the vehicle?
I was actually about to get back on the highway, so I was making the turn to get back on the highway, and instead of making the turn to get on the highway, I hit the U-turn.
Once you made the U-turn, where did you go?
After making the U-turn, I pulled up next to the car just to see if they needed any help.
And when you said you pulled up next to the car, were you on the same side of the street that you were previously or on the opposite side of the street?
I cannot really confirm which side because I did eventually end up, I remember being back on the other side, but actually, no, I was on the opposite side. I do remember I was on the opposite side. So I pulled up, if the car is facing this way, I was facing the opposite side.
All right. You have permission to approach? I'm going to show you what's been marked as 64 VV, 67 VV, and 68 VV. I want you first to maybe recognize those pictures.
Yes.
First, start with 64 VV. How do you recognize 64 VV?
That's my car on the far right.
And do you also see in that picture the other speaking of?
Yes.
All right. And looking at 67 VV, how do you recognize 67 VV?
That's probably the view I would have had.
Put that other one down for me.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's probably the view I would have had before I did the U-turn to get on the highway.
All right. And then 68 VV.
Just another view of the car, so looks familiar.
And do those appear to be fair and accurate depictions of the area where you were when you saw the red car on March 14, 2022?
Yes. I don't remember this debris on the ground, but that might be like a minor oversight. But other than that,
You don't
there's
remember?
a box on the ground like of debris or something like that. I mean, that's minor, but I don't remember that. But other than that, everything looks accurate.
Okay. Yeah, this time the state would like to admit 64 VV, 67 VV, and 68 VV into evidence.
All right, those are admitted.
Permission to publish.
Yep.
First, I want to start with actually 67 VV. Now, looking at 67 VV, and it should be on your computer and on the screen behind you, looking at the picture, are you able to tell or remember where you pulled up with your car when you first saw the red vehicle?
I was more than likely in the left lane, and then after the car wasn't moving, so I probably was more than likely held up by the car, and then I moved over to the right lane to pass the car.
Okay. So initially you were behind the red car.
Yes.
And when you said there were other cars out there, were there other cars in front of you between your car and the red car?
So there were initially, but due to the car not moving, they eventually ended up going around until I was directly behind the car.
Okay. And when you said you went and made the U-turn, and I believe there's a stick to the side of you. If you can stand up for a moment. And just show the jury where you went to go make the U-turn.
It would be actually past these cylinders right here to get on the highway where this light is right here.
And when you were driving, before you decided to make a U-turn, would you have been going westbound on I-20?
Yes.
Thank you. Now showing you what's been admitted as 64 VV. Looking at 64 VV, do you see your vehicle?
Yes.
And is that your vehicle on the right-hand side of the photograph? The single car on the right-hand side of the photograph?
Yes.
All right. And is the red car, the first car, in the picture on the left-hand side of the vehicle?
Yes.
All right. Now, once you stopped your vehicle, please continue. What did you do once you stopped your vehicle and exited your car?
So I vaguely remember, it's been a few years, but essentially I got the car. I walked around the car. I was going to knock on the window, but then that's when I noticed the glass was shattered. So when I noticed the glass was shattered, that's when I called 911 for assistance.
Did you call anyone else besides 911?
Before 911, I doubt, no. If anything, it would have been my brother, but I doubt I called him before. I did call him after, but not before.
Okay. Once you saw the shattered glass, did you see anything inside of the vehicle?
No.
Did you see anyone inside of the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Where was the person who was inside of the vehicle?
Driver's seat.
And if you can describe to the jury, how did he appear in the vehicle? I'm sorry, was it a he or a she?
He.
How did he appear inside of the vehicle?
He actually looked sleep. I didn't notice any blood or anything. He just looked sleep. But considering the glass was shattered, I figured something might have been wrong.
Permission to approach, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Showing you what's been marked as 69 VV, 70 VV, 72, and 76 VV. Take a moment and look at those. Tell me if you recognize.
Yes.
Okay, how do you recognize those?
Well, the first picture I don't really recognize because, when I say that, I didn't open the door, so this view is not technically familiar to me.
Okay.
For the other three pictures, I would definitely say those views are familiar to me.
So looking at 69 VV and 70 and 76, 72 VV, Your Honor, state would like to admit 69, 70, and 72 VV.
Okay, if those are the three that he recognized.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, those are admitted.
First, looking at State's exhibit, publishing State's exhibit 69 VV. Now, looking at 69 VV, is that the view that you had once you exited your vehicle?
Somewhat, yes.
When you say somewhat, tell me, what do you mean?
This view would put me kind of in the pedestrian crosswalk, and I was a little bit behind the car.
So your car is further to the right of this picture?
Yes.
Okay. And when you got out of your car, did you walk back towards the car in the direction of the car?
Yes.
All right. 70 VV. And then 72 VV. Is that the shatter window that you just referenced that you saw when you approached the vehicle?
Yes.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, how did you see that the victim looked asleep?
Well, they just were leaned over, so I got out my car. And then I approached the vehicle, and then I noticed they were kind of just like leaned until I noticed the window.
What side of the car did you approach when you saw that he was leaned over, looked asleep?
I would assume that I would approach on the.
Once you saw
Well, again, I need blood, so I thought sleep. I think I just continued to survey the car, and then that's when I looked through the driver's side window to the passenger side window and noticed that it was shattered. So then that's when I called 911.
And after you called 911,